Okay.
Oh, is there anything you would like to ask me from China?
For, sorry, excuse me.
Is there anything you would like to ask me from China? You know, you're from China. Is there anything you would like to ask me?
Actually, I have not think about this question. Maybe I will think in few minutes and then ask you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Time have we? How much time have we, Alan?
We're going to finish at 12:30, so we've got about 20 minutes left.
20 minutes.
What about Mona? Mona, do you have any questions for? I can ask questions. I can interview, no problem. But I wanted to give you a chance. Elham, have you got any questions for him?
I'd like to know more about your lifestyle.
My life.
Your lifestyle.
So neither Wendy or I are just understanding what you're asking there, Mona. Why don't you say in the chat window what you're saying, and I can read it, see if I can pick you up what you mean.
Okay.
And it'll just be a pronunciation issue. Wendy, sometimes the girls ask me something and I don't know what they're saying, and it's just the pronunciation is not what we're accustomed to. Lifestyle. So she's asking about your lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Yes. Because I am a little older.
No.
Not at all.
I am called. I'm supposed to be retired. Do you know what retired means?
Yes.
Yes, I'm supposed to be. But I like doing everything, so I don't like to say I'm retired, because I think when you've got arms and legs with a head, you can do anything. So I think I'm not retired. So I try and do everything that I can. I go to my daughter's, and she has these 6 grandchildren. They're my great grandchildren, and I play games with them, and I take maybe a little chocolate bar, and they have a big garden. So I tell them all to close their eyes, and then I go and hide it all over, hide one all over the place, and then they have to go and find it. But there's a little girl who is Down syndrome. Do you know what Down syndrome is?
Yes. Yes.
Do you all know it?
Yeah,
Yes.
we know.
Yeah. So she is a little different to the others, but she is just as excited, but cannot understand always that she has to go and look on her own for these things. And the others, she's following them instead of doing her own thing, do you know? So I take her by the hand and we go and look, and we pretend that we're looking for something, and then I have to whisper to her, yes, it's over here. So I can go around the garden with her, and it's a very, very big garden. And we have such fun with them. And sometimes they come into my kitchen, and I lift the little ones up onto the counter. You do have a counter in your kitchen?
Yes.
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 So I sit them there, and I put a pan on the electric cooker, and I make pancake mixture. Yes. And then I take a spoon and pour, and I make little pancakes in the pan. And then they take it in turns to hold the knife, the scraper, and they let them turn it over, and then it starts to bubble again, and then they lift it out. And so they all make pancakes, and that is great fun. So you can do all sorts of things at my age and at your age, and make it fun for children, make life fun, because we can be very miserable sometimes, and we don't want that. And I think we just have to, even wherever we are, put a smile on your face and be cheerful about it, and just say, yes, I can do this. Nobody's going to stop me. Okay?
Very good. Yes.
So you can do that in China as well. And I'd love to go to China. I haven't, that's one place I haven't been. So maybe when I come, you can take me around and show me.
China.
Yes, I'd love to go to China.
Why do you want to come to China?
Because it seems a very different country. Everything seems to be going so fast, and and just I just want to get to know Chinese people. I don't think I have any Chinese friends, and I would like to learn the culture. Every country has its culture, doesn't it? And when I went to Korea,
Yeah.
I had to sit on the floor in a restaurant. The table was so low.
Yeah.
And that I found very, very different and very difficult because I'm not used to sitting so low down. And whether I would be able for it, I'm not sure. But I can remember in Korea, maybe it's the same in China, you have to take your shoes off before you go into anyone's house, before you go into church, before you go into a restaurant. Is that the same in China?
No. When you go into restaurant, you do not have to put off your shoes. But if you visit someone else, like you visit somebody's home, you have to take off your shoes.
Yes.
So actually, I went to Alan's house once, and at night time I feel very surprised. I don't need to take off my shoes.
Well, let me tell you an interesting. Am I taking up more time than
No, you're fine, Wendy. You're fine.
Are you sure? When I was in Korea, I went into one home, which was quite a very well. They were quite well. They owned a lot of money, but when I went into the bathroom, there was this list, this board, and it had all these little things that you pressed. So I pressed one little button and music started. When I pressed another, a beautiful perfume came out. When I pressed another, the toilet seat went warm. And
it's interesting.
Yes, and there was so many different things. It was about 10 different buttons, and I could have stayed in the bathroom for a long time because I enjoyed pressing all these buttons. But that is different countries have different things that fascinate me, and it's lovely to go to different countries. I think.
Yes, because like when you visit somebody in China and like people will give you slippers, you will stand out the door and waiting for people give you slippers. And the first time I went to Alan's house, nobody gave me slippers.
Yes.
Yes, and I just stand there and do not know what should I do.
Yes, I can.
And yeah, at that time, Udita told me, like people in this country, in UK, you do not have to take off your shoes.
Oh.
Because as a student in university, I didn't went to like somebody else's house or home, so I don't know this until I went to Alan's house.
Really, there you go. Yes, you see, it's different, and we've got to appreciate you know the word appreciate, the different countries have different,
Yeah.
yes. And everybody is so lovely and make you feel so welcome. Yes, I enjoyed my time going from country to country.
Yeah. As well, you mentioned that China is like developing very fast.
Very,
Fast.
Fast.
yes.
She's making reference to the fact you said everything is accelerating there, their development, Wendy, because
Yes,
when you were young, Wendy, China was a very poor country.
it was, that's quite
Yeah, I have an answer, but just kidding. Because some people here they work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
I think in China, maybe I am wrong, they make children work so hard at school.
Yes, you are right, but maybe the situation will start to change from now on. This year, the government found the people decline so fast in China, and just this month, the government published some regulation like because in China, some children they have to have some other class outside the school for like a Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't
and
pay.
from this month, the government banned these things.
Good, good. They need relaxation as well. Mm.
Yeah, because like children have so much pressure, and the parents they need to pay the money for those class,
Mm.
and all parents they have like heavy pressure.
Mhm.
So people do not want to have too much kids because they cannot afford those money. And the government found this is one of the reasons people do not want to have many children. And the result is the population decline. It's not a good thing.
Mhm, mhm. I
Yeah, so yeah, the situation will start to change from this month.
Mhm, mhm. Wow. It's fascinating hearing all the different countries and the different cultures. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was in Korea, they gave me this thing to eat. It seemed to be sort of a delicacy, I think, for everywhere I went. They brought this plate with these look like eggs, big eggs, but they were rice, and I don't know.
Oh,
Does that maybe you have it in China too? But when I would bite into it, it would nearly stick to the roof of my mouth, and I couldn't eat them. And each place I went, I got this plate of these eggs, and I felt so bad.
is that some dessert or not?
Sorry.
Is that I mean dessert?
Yes, I think it was like we would call a cake here. It was some sort of a little, but I couldn't eat it, and I felt so bad because it was something special, and I couldn't take it.
Is that very sticky?
Yes,
Sticky.
yes, and it's
Actually, I felt like those kind of things.
but one doesn't want to offend. Do you know what I mean by offend? Upset anyone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe because different country people like the habit of eating is different, so somebody cannot like to eat some other country's food.
Yeah, but that was the only thing I couldn't. I loved the food. Every country I've been in was wonderful, and it was made with such love. They wanted to show such love. You know, it was wonderful.
Yeah, it reminded me one thing that I I got this not a lot of really news, but maybe just some interesting information. Like the Olympic Games was held in Japan this year,
Yes.
and online I saw a news is a British guy. He complained about the food in Japan. He complained about the food in Japan was too bad.
Really?
And some other guy, how to say that? Let me check. Yeah, some other guy comments that if a British guy see the food is bad, so the food is really bad in Japan.
Oh, goodness. Really? That is awful. Because I think in every country there's food is delicious. But the only thing was that egg.
It's just a joking, I think, because for some Asian people, they will think like British food is a little bit simple than
Yes,
Asian food.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were joking about this kind of things.
Yeah. Well, go to Ireland. The food there.
Really?
Yes, a lot of. I love seafood. I love a lot of seafood, crab and lobster and.
Yeah, I love seafood too.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's delicious.
Good.
So sometime you'll all come here and visit me.
Thank you for inviting.
It's just been a treat to be with you all, and it really has just been lovely, hasn't it?
So we've got about 5 minutes left. So if anyone has any questions, more questions, now is the chance to get your oar in. Right, there's an expression I haven't taught them before. Get your oar in. Get your oar.
I've never heard that expression either. That must be a Scottish one.
Really? Get your oar in?
Yeah,
You never
heard that one.
Really?
Yeah.
You ask Bert. You ask Bert what get your oar in means. I bet he'll know, right?
Right.
I'm amazed. So
I
get your oar in is to well, what we'll do is we'll share my screen, right? Let me just do this for a second. This is what often I do when I do the class. I'll show you what I do. I'll bring up the web browser, like so. What's this? See that? And then what I'll do is I will go here and delete that and say get your oar in, like so. Sorry, I need to move the chat window out of the way. Get your oar in. I didn't spell it right, obviously. Get your is to say or do something that annoys other people because they have not asked you to join their conversation or activity.
never heard of it.
Never really? Okay. So basically get your oar in. There you go. So every day, I say this every week, Wendy. Every day's a school day, right? We all learn something from each other.
Indeed.
And so yeah, so the idea is that it's like you know, it's your chance to get in, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
So that's what I meant by that. I'll stop that share. So quite often what I do is if we come up with a word or I say something, I'll say, well, I'll give you the Alan Lockhart version of it. Yeah? And then after I've done that, then I'll say, well, let's look at what Cambridge Dictionary says, and we'll talk about that. And so that's often what we do.
Well, interesting.
Right. Elham, any more questions from you, my dear, or Mona? Feel free.
I think that this session is not enough. I like to talk with her more and more.
Okay. So there you go. So I won't put her on the spot, but I will ask Wendy if she'd like to join us another week. And I suspect the answer will be yes. And you also know that if you ever come to the UK, not only can you stay with me, but you've got another friend in Wendy you can stay with. And Wendy will give you a hug. Well, you'll get one from me as
Yes,
well. You'll get a warm one from
And
Wendy.
I wish
What was that, Shweta?
Alan sir,
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you so much for making this meet and introducing a beautiful and sweet friend. And I would like to touch her feet when I will meet her. And one more thing, I have something to show you all. So here it is. Uh, can you see? Can you all see this?
No, no. Oh my, that is beautiful.
Yeah, and he is Lord Krishna. We worshipped him, and whenever we feel, we can say, whenever we feel afraid or low spirited, then we just touch his feet and feel blessed, and we just get some positive
Comfort.
vibes and some kind of blessings or some kind of light of way or anything like that. So he is also my friend. So I introduced you all.
You introduced your friend to us. Yes.
That's interesting. Shut
And
up.
nowadays I'm also reading a book which is written by also a book, this one. Can you all see this? Here it is also mentioned Lord Krishna, and this is book is Journey of Home and written by Radhanath Swami, and he's also from America. And he just explained his journey in this book, that how he become religious and how's the journey to be in India, and how he get the attraction, or say we can say how he get vibes of Lord Krishna. So this is all about it.
Oh, well, how interesting. Thank you for sharing.
Alida, if you have any questions, you could just write them in the chat. Because I'm going to close it down now. You haven't had a chance to. So if you've got any questions, write something in the chat.
Yes.
I don't pay a question, but I want to congratulate for Wendy for your enthusiasm. I enjoy that she very, very enthusiastic. Yes.
Thank you. It was lovely to share with you. You'll have to say more another time.
Yeah, well, maybe, so what we normally do, Wendy, is we have two classes. This class is really designed for those in the Eastern Hemisphere. And we do another one at a different time, later in the evening, for those that are in the Western Hemisphere. So normally, Alida and others, EO, and there's others from Colombia and Guatemala and all those countries, they join at the other time. So maybe next time you come.
Yes,
you
I
can
would
join at
like.
that time.
I would like to listen to Wendy. It's good, great.
Okay, good. All right.
What was that, Alida? Could you say that again?
I'll repeat what Alida said. Alida is a Spanish speaker, obviously. She was basically saying it was great to listen to you, Wendy, and she'd like to talk with you more another time.
Oh,
Yes.
that's been lovely, Alida. That, yes.
Okay, I'm going to put the recording off now. 1 second, I'll put the recording off.